Howdy, shipmates. My name is Nate Jones. As you know, I have been given a notice in the mail that I had 2 months to vacate my raft. 2 months. And just slightly before this notice, I had just changed my job. One job refused to call me and left me with a need to find another. And so upon finding out that the going rate, hourly rate in the UK is about $9.55. So I figured any job can sustain my lifestyle of choice. I'm a simple man. I eat simply. I know how to survive or make a means. Been doing that for years. So I went out and got me a job, but I never factored a contract for 12 hours a week. Now, it's not to say that I'm only going to be doing 12 hours, because they do give me more hours. But the contract is at least for 12 hours. Of course, that makes it that much more difficult in terms of my status quo living. It's not to say that it's impossible. It's to say that it's relative in terms of the struggle. My God is so big, so strong, and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for me. I went out and I got me a GoFundMe account. It just may be that there are people that can identify with my struggle, and there might even be people who are looking for ways and means to help or give back, and they may see my situation and say, okay, I'm willing to help this brother. My GoFundMe account, or my goal, is £71,000. And of course, for some people, they will struggle with that, because some people don't even have a tenth of that in their savings from their struggles. And you know, this whole journey of me to you is one that I am showing you and telling you how I do, or how I did what I'm now doing. How did I come to 71,000? For years on my calculator, I've always decided that I would go from my raft to possibly a 900-pound lifestyle, meaning that 900 pounds in expenses would give me a comfortable lifestyle just beyond the raft. And from 900 pounds a month, I can graduate to 9,000 pounds. And 9,000 pounds would be more or less like a retirement amount, whereby, me and my wife and so forth can subsist off of that per month indefinitely. But that's something that I can work toward in terms of what you see me doing now. But I'm talking too much. But what I'm really trying to say is that my GoFundMe account is 71,000, and how I came to that is 900 pounds a week for 3 years is 32,000. 25,000 pounds in a savings account will be something that I can fall back on if the event that there's something unforeseeable. I have that money there. 10,000 pounds is for my business. I'm a writer poet, so I'm using that money for investing purposes and so forth and so on. And then I've taken 4,000 pounds to handle miscellaneous expenses that I have on top of me at the moment, sort of thing, which comes to 71,000. Now, of course, I'm not asking for any specific person to give me. That's not what this is about. What this is about is that I'm tapping into the law of giving. That law that my God has sustained for all these years. Those who understand the law of giving, those who understand how God works. If you can hear me and you can identify with what I'm saying, I'm talking to you. If you're so inclined to give, I'm asking, what is my overall goal in terms of this money that I'm asking for? That's easy. I am a writer poet, and there are things that only I can say based on my own personal experience. I am not a theologian from the standpoint of going to school to learn what it is they learn, to be able to articulate what it is they have processed. That's not me. I'm coming from a whole nother perspective that makes me unique, and I'm sharing that aspect of me to the world by way of poetry and experience. And I believe that there is a market for my talent from that perspective. Now, once I have established my own lifestyle in terms of the money that I make from my books and my poetry, beyond that, I want to be used by God to help the poor by way of the needy, by way of the widows and the orphans. I can't help everybody because I'm just one person, but I can make a difference in certain people's lives, and the people of choice for me are both widows and orphans. So while I'm asking now, at some point I hope to be on the other side where I can give back. Just like I'm asking you who feel the need to give back. That can help me in this process. Finally, Lord has blessed me with a place. I leave tomorrow. God has opened up a way that my financial status will be the same. How God worked that out, we'll talk about that later. For now, I am extremely thankful to both what God is doing and to what God has done. I want to end it off with one of my thoughts that I shared some years ago. A friend of mine came up to me and he said, Nate, we want you to be a speaker at our men's retreat. He said there was somebody that was supposed to be preaching, but they couldn't make it, and we want you to fit in if it's okay. So I thought about it, and I felt the Spirit moving, so I said, okay, yes, I'll do it. So when the day came for us to have this powwow with the men, there were speakers that got up and said what they had to say, and so on and so forth. And When it came my time to get up, it was at the end of the program, just about. And I got up and I stood in front of the men and I said to them, now, you may not like what I'm about to say. As a matter of fact, some of you may have the heart or be inclined to want to stone me for what I'm about to tell you. And they all perked up. But I asked them to humor me, and before they threw stones, if they would just listen to me. And they agreed, but they couldn't make no promises. So after prayer, I told them that my sermon topic was, men make the best women. When I said that, of course, a few of them reached down looking under their chairs for stones, because that was not something that they were anticipating me saying, that men, them, strong, strapping, rough men make the best women. That kind of was like, oof. But here's the point, friends. In my mind, my God has the most wonderful sense of humor. Now, I didn't say God is a jokester. I didn't say that he plays games or he makes fun. No. To the contrary. But God has a most striking sense of humor. You see, in my eye, my mind's eye, I can see men who are looking for submission from their wives. And I can understand that in the heart of a woman, in the essence of a woman, it is her desire to submit to the one that she calls her better half. It's within her to do that. But I can see God with an eye single to her, looking at the man with his hands on his hips, patting his feet, because God knows the same submission that men are looking from their wives for is the same submission that God is looking for from the man. Therefore, if a man gets that memo and submits to God the way God expects him to do so, he will leave a bright blueprint for the woman. Therefore, in essence, man make the best women. Because if they can give her an how-to illustration, my name is Nate.